Let's look at how to convert a string of digits into a number. So I'm going to go ahead and write some code to do that. So I'm going to make a program called atoi ASM. And in this program, I'm going to first prompt the user for a number. So make a prompt and make that a define bytes and type in enter a number from 0 to 255. And the reason I want it from 0 to 255 is that if it's in that range, then I can then just send it out on the return value for the program. And then I'll have my length for this prompt right here. Prompt length. I'm going to make that equal to the current location minus the prompt label. So that gives you that. I'm going to have a section for my buffer. So I got a buffer, and that's going to be a reserve bytes of 64. In reality, most numbers aren't going to be that big, but I'm just going to go ahead and do that. So I'll make that buffer for reading input. All right. Now, I could keep track of how long it is and things like that, but I don't really need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and now I define my global start. So global start. And here we go. So the first thing I want to do is print out the prompt. So the prompt will be just move into RAX value 1 for a sys write. I'm going to move into RDI value 1 for the standard out. I'm going to move into RSI, the prompt label. So as the prompt string, I'm going to move into RDX, the length, which is prompt len. See prompt. Well, maybe just say the length of the string. Length of the string. All right, I do a syscall, and I have now prompted the user to enter a number from 0 to 255. Next, I need to actually read in that data from the user. So read in number. So I move into RAX. The value is 0, which is a sys read. I'm going to move into RDI is 0 for the standard in. I'm going to move into RSI, the buffer address. So buffer for input. I'm going to move into RDX, the length of bits. So let's say 63. So bytes to read up to. And then I'll do a syscall. And so the syscall will then get that read into memory, and then I can then go ahead and do things like call my atoi function. And after I'm done with that, I want to just exit. And the function is going to return a value in RAX because that's where values typically come from. So I'm going to move my RDI, which is the return value or the exit code, RAX. So I'm going to set exit code to return value. I'm going to move into RAX. The value is 60 for a sys exit, and then I'll just do a syscall. All right. At this point, I think we're ready to write our atoi function. So I'm going to do atoi, and it's going to basically do a couple things. It's going to convert a string to an integer. We'll make that an unsigned integer because we really don't want to deal with negatives right now. And this is just to get you an idea how it works. So our input is going to be RDI is going to be our first variable, and that is going to be a string address. So just the address of the string or the character array. My output is going to be RAX is going to be the unsigned integer, but we're going to do -1 on error. So if you pass it in a word or something, just do -1. So that's all we want to do here. So the first thing we want to do is initialize our output. So XOR RAX to RAX, which basically just sets the return value equal to 0. Next, we're going to have a conversion loop. So atoi convert. And in this conversion loop, the first thing we want to do is just take one character at a time. Now, our input's coming in RDI. So we're going to move that first character, move ZX into RSI. We're going to grab a byte from RDI. So load a character into RSI. All right, now we need to check the character. So we're going to do a test RSI to see if it's equal to 0. And this test is going to be if, let's call it CH equals 0, which is actually the null character. Go to an atoi done. That means we're just done with everything. So let's do a jump equals to atoi done. Now let's go ahead and make that atoi done. So atoi done, and that just returns. We're also going to have errors, so we'll do an atoi error, atoi error. And for that one, we're going to return a -1 if it's an error. So we'll do move RAX -1. So -1 for error. And then it'll just continue down, and then it'll just return right here. All right, so what other conditions we need to do? Well, we want to see if the character is a new line, because when you're entering things in there, it does get a new line in there, and so we don't want to have a crash because that is going to be outside of a digit error area. So we'll compare RSI to 10, which is the new line character. That's if our CH equals /n, then go to atoi to I done, because that means we're just done, right? So jump equals to atoi done. Done. There you go. So the next condition we want to look at is what if it is less than a 0 digit? So we do compare RSI, and we can either use the ASCII value or we can just use the straight character. So it's the character 0. So that's if CH is, we're going to do less than 0. Go to atoi error. And so we do jump less than atoi error. All right, and on the other end, we want to compare RSI to the 9 digit. So that is if our ch is greater than 9, I'm going to go to atoi error, and so jump greater atoi error. So I think we've taken care of all of the main error conditions right here. The next thing I want to do is to convert the number into, or convert the character into an actual number value. So we're going to subtract RSI. We'll take off of RSI the value of a 0 character. So that is to convert ASCII digit to a number, and that would be 0 through 9. Now we want to multiply our RAX. So RAX starts out with 0. We're going to multiply it, and then what we're going to do is just shift it over one digit. And the way we do that is by multiply it by 10. So I RAX by 10. And that will basically do RAX times equals 10, which shifts it. So I'd say that just shifts value for, and makes space for whatever is in RSI, the next value. So then we just add it. Add RAX, RSI. So we're going to then do an RAX plus equals RSI, which basically just adds RSI to the total. So it's kind of like building the number up slowly. At this point, we want to go to the next letter in our string. So that was RDI was the string coming in. So we can increment RDI, and that will just go to the next character in the buffer. So move to next character in buffer. And then we can just jump up to our atoi convert up here to go the next round right here. atoi convert. And this should be done, right? Now we should need to actually call it. So how do we call it? Well, the buffer has all this information, and the buffer needs to be put into RDI before we call our functions. So we're going to move into RDI, our buffer address. And then we're going to, so that's basically the address of the number string. And we're going to call atoi, and then that will get us our value. It'll come back in RAX, and then we can move RAX to RDI, and then we can just use that as the exit code. So this right here should be all we need to do in order to test this out. So let's go ahead and build it. So nasm -f elf64 atoi, and we're going to convert that to an atoi.o file. Then we're going to link that. So the atoi.o and call it atoi. And we'll go run it and see what happens. So we're entering a number, let's see, 1, 2, 3. Now we don't know what the return value was, so we can echo $, and that will return our exit code. So that was the exit code. So let's try a different number. So let's say we want to do 34. And we exit, and we can then look at our exit code. So this is how you can do an atoi function that does unsigned integer values.